Alright, right?
Yes.
Don't break my camera. Stop looking at it.
I didn't break your camera.
Alright, so, yeah.
This whole thing has to come off.
Yep. This whole entire carriage has to come off. So Mr. Tim's going to get the 3/4 inch impact gun. No, 1 inch impact gun.
1 inch.
1 inch from Milwaukee.
It will take it off.
Oh, it'll pop them right off. We're going to douse them with some kind of oil first. But yeah, this whole thing has to come off of here. There's bolts that go through, like that little hole there. That's what these holes are for. They're takeout holes. You know, you can put your gun through there. I got to clean the rest of this dirt and shit out of there. Get that cleaned up. This sun gear. This sun gear is worn sharp, about as sharp as it can get. Timothy has actually said that he found a place that sells this thing for $2,600, and if it's $2,600 I'll buy both of them and we'll be good for another 3,000 hours, 2,500 hours or so. For the guys that said I should change my oil in my hubs a little more often than never, how often do we change oil in these hubs? We changed it all the time, didn't we?
Yeah.
All the time, and we always used a synthetic oil. I never used plain oil in there, the plain gear lube. I always used synthetic AMSOIL or synthetic Valvoline. It always came out burnt, always came out burnt. And I know someone said that I should put it in, dump it out, put it in, dump it out until it's clean. Did that too. Always came out black. Didn't matter, you put it in fresh, come out black. And that's just the way these things work. Because this hub actually gets very, very hot. And yeah, it gets very, very hot. I'm not happy that it gets hot, but it does. And what do? Nothing. So I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to clean it up. And then we're going to start actually removing the whole undercarriage. And the problem with this undercarriage is it is very, very heavy. And I mean very, very heavy. And it's going to be a bit of a bitch to get it back up on there. But I have all the confidence in the world that the Milwaukee 1 inch impact gun will take it off. That thing is incredible. Anybody that's never used one should use one. You'll twist things off that you wouldn't even think you could twist off with an electric impact gun. But anyway, I'm going to shut the hell up now and get on with the teardown. right, so this is how we've had to do it. We had to raise that up, and I had one of the lines loosened up off of the motor, so we drained some of the oil out that needs to come out anyway. And what we're gonna do is we're able to disconnect all the lines from in there, and then we take these 4 remaining bolts off, and this whole undercarriage, this whole carriage will come out off of there. Hopefully nobody gets hurt. I'm gonna put it on a 2-ton jack. Oh, look at that. So that's just a hose with a plug, which is what controls the lockout and the 2-speed, the high and the low. That's why this hub is so damned expensive, because it is the 2-speed electronic hub. Timothy, you claimed you saw one online for what, $2,500? I want to see that. I want you to show it to me. Send me the link anyway. So what we're going to do is, I've got one loosened up. I'm going to get them all off. He can work on the inside on the 2 smaller ones, and I'll do the outside on the 2 bigger ones. And then we'll go ahead and drop this bitch on the ground. Right, Tim? Yeah, right. Alright, so me and Tim just spent the last 45 minutes or so taking those hydraulic lines off of there. They're going to be so much fun to put back on, I'm sure. Super fun, right?
Yeah.
Not. Anyway, so what we're going to do is, really the only thing holding this piece on right now at this point is that bolt, that bolt, that bolt, and there's a bolt right there. Problem is, these bolts are not bolts, they're actually studs, and they got dirt on them, and they have to be wire brushed. So you have to get a wire brush, I guess. A real wire brush, not that brass thing. It's useless. Useless, that's what's wrong with it. Wire brushes off. We're going to soak them up with some oil, I guess, and then we'll go ahead and spin them off with that 1-inch impact if we're lucky enough to be able to get it in there. I hope we're lucky enough to get it in there. If not, I do have a big 1-inch impact. We'll probably have to use the air impact to get that off through those holes, because they're really long. Now that's better. Okay. So yeah, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my floor jack wherever it is hidden. I don't know where it's at, but we'll put the floor jack underneath there someplace. And then when we pop those 4 bolts off, we'll just allow it, we'll roll it off like that. Or get it onto the ground and then roll it around, because it is on these rollers. It's not like it's going to fall on the ground and kill one of us. And I'm hoping that these are still good. These are very expensive. These are like $1,200 a piece for these freaking big ones. I've got a spare one up top because I knew that one was going bad. I don't know if I explained why this thing went out. It's something that happened many years ago, and I always suspected that it was going to be this side that goes out. Extreme heat. When I put the new belts on, or the new tracks on, the first set of new tracks, I had them over tightened, and it put a lot of pressure on this particular one. It's so much pressure to the point where it was smoking hot and there was oil running out of the back side of it. And I ended up, where you were there when you pulled the plug off and it went shooting.
That's when it got all over me.
Yeah, it exploded. Hot gear lube all over him. It shot across the field about 50 feet. I would say so. It went flying. I'm surprised you didn't lose the plug.
No, because it was still on the damn Allen wrench.
Yeah, it was on the Allen wrench. So, but yeah, I shut that off, Tim. So, anyways, I think that's why this one went bad. That sun gear is extremely sharp. This is junk. The $2,600 place wants me to send this hub to them, and then they'll send me a reconditioned one. Which, what I'll do is I'll buy one from Deere, because it's the only place I'm going to get it from. I'll buy it from Deere. I'll take this one, I'll send it to Texas for $2,600. They claim they'll refurbish it and put it back together again, and I'll be good to go. And then when the other side fails, or when I get some time, I'll take the other side off and we'll have it 100%. I just don't want it to fail, you know. I'd like it to be good. Anyways, we'll get the rest of this off here shortly. Yeah, I'd say that's success. Okay, kind of success. I know why they throw these machines away when that drive goes bad. What a pain in the ass. Pain. That thing is extraordinarily heavy. I don't even know how we're going to get back up in there without a loader. Probably use a loader to do it. Chain hoist?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we could use a chain hoist. Probably isn't going to be that terrible, but you know, once you get these things, they'll bend these damn pipes, and I don't know. This one here has got some vibration damage to it, but it shouldn't be too hard. I'll pop this off of here. We'll get it all cleaned up. We'll pop these hoses off, knock these off, and then we get to take all of those out, and then that whole motor will go that way. And then we get a new motor for like $5,000. Yes, I keep saying $5,000 because it's $5,000, and I think it's just absolutely ridiculous. The unfortunate thing is I don't believe the updated, I don't think the updated CT or the 333D track skid steer hub will fit on here. That's the sad part about it, is I don't believe it will. I'd have to really ask around a lot, and that's probably $7,000 then. And for a machine that's got some really hard hours on it, I mean, I wasn't kind to this thing. I hate to say it, but I'm not kind to it. I use it, I abuse it, and it's mine, so I guess it really doesn't matter. But I don't know, I'm thinking of buying a different one when I'm done fixing this. I don't know if I'm going to buy a John Deere. Unfortunately, you know, I've been looking at Kubotas, and I'm not a fan of the Kubota. And you know, I'm not a fan of the Kubota. I don't want a Kubota. I'm sure Neil Messick is probably screaming about what I just said. It's just I don't know. The Kubota was really nice though. It's just I like American, you know. And John Deere, this is a John Deere built machine made by John Deere. It is not a rebranded. The old John Deeres were made by New Holland for many years. You can shut that heater off. They were made by John Deere for many years, and or New Holland for John Deere for many years, and it worked out, and they were good machines. I know people say, "Oh, buy a Bobcat." I'm not a fan of Bobcat. I don't know why. I'm just not a fan of Bobcat. I've ran a couple of them. I hate their hand controls. I hate their foot controls. If it was a electro-hydraulic like this one is, great. I know I was thinking about a Caterpillar, but you know what? I think I'm just going to fix this one and call it a day. And if I do buy another one, it probably will be the 333D John Deere, because I've heard people just love those. And I like the John Deere. I really do. I like the John Deere. It's tough. It's a tough machine. I mean, I put this thing through its paces and then some. What do you think, Tim? Remember digging up groundhogs? Mm-hmm. That was fun. Yeah, but I don't know. I kind of agree with some of the viewers that 2,500 hours really isn't a lot of hours on something like this. But I also, most of my viewers don't realize that this thing is run to its maximum capacity every minute of every day that it's run by me. I mean, it really has not had an easy life by me. I mean, I'm pretty tough on it. So, I don't know. I'll probably just put it back together, spend my $10,000 in getting it repaired, and, you know, just run it for another 2,500 hours. That panel's not missing. I took it off, by the way. But I do. I love the thing. I love this skid steer. When I bought this, I was like, huh, what am I doing? I'm spending $42,000 on something. What am I doing? Well, I'm glad I spent the $42,000 because this machine has been awesome. It really has. But anyways, enough of me rambling on. And tomorrow you'll watch me rip the rest of this thing out and make my final decision whether, well, I'm going to have to buy it from Deere. As a matter of fact, 2 of the places that I've called, they're like, nah, we don't rebuild that one. I'm like, what? They're like, no, we don't rebuild that one. We don't even offer a replacement for it. What you have to do is go to John Deere, and John Deere will sell you the part that you need. So, bah humbug. Anyway, here we go.